Hello, everyone. I come to you from this dark room, which I only made dark because for some reason my webcam was very overexposed and I'm very pale and it made me very, very white. Uh, so I turned off the lights and I dimmed my monitor brightness because I don't want to just be a glowing entity on screen while making a video. Um, but I would like to talk to y'all about a project that I am working on, and in particular, it's a group project. So I'm hoping to compile a lot of works by a lot of various people to build this a community zine. Zine is short for magazine. It's an like independent magazine. Um, just about Láadan or from the Láadan community and whatever else. So let me start off by showing you my itch.io page. So some of you might be familiar with other zines that I've done. So I have a Esperanto reader, I have a Láadan reader. So like I've printed out physical copies of these and mailed them out, but there's also digital versions available. So those are down there, and they're usually just stuff that I do by myself. That's why it's the Rachel's Láadan reader or the Rachel's Esperanto reader. But what I would really like to do is build something with the community of just anyone, whether you're just interested in Láadan and haven't really spent time learning it, or you've done some learning, or none of us are really fluent, so I'm not going to say fluent. But you've read the grammar book. That's like then you're at a higher level. But the idea is, so let me see if I have, actually I could just pull it up on my hard drive, go down here. There's really nothing here yet. I've just kind of been working on a layout. This is just a really basic mock cover using the lorem ipsum text. The background photo is just a photo from my husband. I'm hoping to actually put a photo from maybe a Láadan, like Láadanist, Láadana, as the background, and then like there could be art, there could be people's lyrics or poetry or little articles or different things like that. So I really don't have much here. This is why I'm making a video, because I want to see if there's anyone interested in contributing something. It doesn't have to be the most amazing thing. Don't worry, like don't get analysis paralysis over it. So here's a few things that I was thinking of so far. Like if we do multiple issues, it would be cool to have each issue somebody different introduce like what is Láadan and what is Láadan to me. So instead of just grabbing the Wikipedia blurb of what Láadan is, every time it could be somebody else saying like, this is what Láadan is, this is what it means to me. And then there I was going to put a news section. So also there was an album that was released by Meteoric Twin. It's called Áya, and if you want to check it out, I can put a link in the description here. But you can download the album and listen to it here as well. So I was going to put any sort of news that's vaguely related to Láadan, whether that's like someone who created some new art or something you can check out somewhere. I don't know what kind of news overall there would be. I know it's not a very happening community, like, maybe we get a few things every year. But it would be cool to aggregate the news someplace. Thoughts, I was just thinking like this could almost be like blog posts, like, currently we're all staying at home because of the outbreak. Maybe someone could post, like, it doesn't even have to be about Láadan, it could just be about your feelings and your emotions, and maybe that can be a little bit linked to Láadan, and maybe like coming up with some words for how this unique situation makes you feel about things. But it could also just be about the state of our lives this day and age, because like what I want is kind of like when I look back at the 1980 Láadan dictionary and grammar, I just think about like, where were these people at this time? What were their lives like? what were they thinking about, how did they come up with the words that they came up with. So it's kind of a way of like taking a snapshot of our lives currently, in this year, in this time period in our culture, but also in how that relates to like why we're attracted to Láadan. And then there could be art. I have some comics I can throw in there, but it's kind of hard to say like a piece of art is specifically about Láadan or anything, but I'm really like up for anything. You got a painting that you really like, this is art by a Láadana or a Láadanist or whatever the word is. You got maybe some poetry that could be in English, and maybe we could try to translate it to Láadan, or song lyrics, or maybe even some sheet music. And then we might have like a short lesson at the end of every issue. And I had some other ideas. Let me see. I think I posted it here. I created a Google group / mailing list to kind of keep this stuff in, just so it's not kind of all over the place. So things to provide. If you have any short stories, even if it's something you wrote for something else, but maybe we can adapt it. Poems, songs, whether that's like lyrics or sheet music or tabs. We could do comics, it could be artwork, especially stuff to decorate the zine instead of just having like a really just blank white page, and especially like that photograph for the front, any other sort of decorations. Articles, so that could be like, your thoughts, things that you post as a blog post, or articles about things in life, culturally, stuff relating to LGBTQIA+ topics, anything basically. We could do ads like, hey, you go check out this person's work over here. It doesn't have to be, again, not explicitly related to Láadan, but like this is something somebody who's interested in Láadan does. Go check out their art here, or their music, or anything else. There could be like email requests, probably not posting people's addresses, but like, here's an email address if you would like to have someone to talk to in Láadan practice. There could be like little things like, I don't know, crossword puzzles or whatever. I was thinking of doing a calendar, but if this is being released in the middle of 2020, that would not make sense. If we made one closer to the end of 2020, we could do like a 2021 calendar in Láadan. And just anything else. And so the idea would be like the zine would be free. You could like download it digitally for free. If you wanted a physical copy, and like it'd be, if you're mailing in the States, it'd be easiest for me to do that right now. I don't know what it's like to mail overseas in the current, like, is my post office even open right now? I don't know. But the cost of like paper and ink, and then like postage or something, there's no intention of like bringing in profit for it. So even like with the digital copy, I would set it to like you can't pay for anything. So if you wanted a print copy, pay for the cost of a print. Ideally, I mean, some stuff could be translations of things other people own. I mean, this is a very independent, like, small scale zine. Preferably, like, I prefer original content as much as possible, but I know that's not always easy or, able to do something like that. No bigotry, this is completely inclusive of the LGBT plus community. There's no gatekeeping on who counts and all of that. So no racism, no sexism, no homophobia or homomisia, and all of that. So, otherwise, I mean, that's kind of just my general take on that. That's what I have so far. I haven't really put anything in it of my own work because I'd like to gather other people's works first, and then, like, if there's not enough art, maybe I could fill in some gaps there, or if there's not enough articles, I could fill in some gaps there. And it doesn't have to be very long, but it'd be nice to have a few different contributions and then have that ready, can distribute it to people, and then look, we did this thing together. So the idea of that just excites me. So anyway, this whole video is just like saying, hey, this project exists. If you'd like to contribute, at the time of recording, we're on the first zine. We haven't even released the first zine yet. It's not even barely even been worked on. But there's also, maybe it'll be published and there'll be a chance to do a second zine in the future, or a third. So if you're interested in contributing anything, let me know. There's a repository. You could contribute through that. You could send me an email if you aren't comfortable with that. You could join the Google group / mailing list if you wanted to communicate via Google group for that. There's also like the Láadan group on Facebook, but I know a lot of people don't like to use Facebook, but this tends to be the most active place for Láadan. And then there's also the message board, but I'm also bad at checking message boards. Where is it? Message board. So that's there as well if you wanted to talk about stuff. But I'm trying to make this Google group thing right here. I'm trying to make this mailing list thread the main place for the talking about contributing to stuff. But again, if you want to like email me directly or just send me stuff directly, I'm just building up this repository of things. I just made one folder. I put one comic in there. That's my contribution so far. But otherwise, I'll keep track of, credits and all of that stuff and kind of compile it together. And whoever wants to help, I'd love your help. Anyone wants to help me like edit the magazine? I'm not really experienced in a more like magazine making things. I just make like little art zines for myself. But yeah, yay, yeah. That's really all I had to say. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna put all these links in the description, and let me know what you think about things, or get in touch in the comments or in emails or whatever else, and we'll see how this goes. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.